Hey guys, my name's Allie and welcome back to my channel, Mindful Living. If you're interested in unique recipe ideas, gardening, and growing your own food, along with finding joy in the ordinary like me, then be sure to subscribe to my channel as I upload new videos every week. Okay, let's get started with today's video, which is planting strawberries in containers. So I purchased this strawberry from my local garden center. It is a June-bearing variety of strawberry, and I'm going to show you guys how I transplant that today. I also did start some seeds myself, which is an ever-bearing variety of strawberry, and I started these indoors about a month ago. As you guys can see, you want to sow your strawberry seeds indoors in February or March, depending on your climate. Strawberries do take a while to come through the soil, so just keep that in mind. It did take a couple weeks before I saw any action happening with my seedlings. Okay, and now I'm going to show you guys what type of container is the best container for strawberries. So strawberries have a shallow root system, so you don't need a very deep container for them. You actually want a container that is wider than it is deep. Strawberry plants are fairly small, and they can fit into most sized pots, but it's important to remember that they don't like to be overcrowded, so you definitely only want to put a few plants per container. The last thing I'm going to mention is I am growing this in a hanging basket, and there's a couple reasons for that. The first reason is I have a dog, which you may have saw in my other videos, so to keep her from getting to my strawberries, I do have it up higher. Another reason is strawberries will start to grow over the sides of the container, which is perfect for a hanging basket. So with gravity, it will encourage the plants to basically grow over the container, which is exactly what you want. You don't want your fruit sitting in the wet soil or the damp soil because it will rot. So hanging basket or a strawberry pot is really the way to go. Okay, I'm just going to quickly show you guys what type of soil I always use in my containers. A lot of you have asked me this in the comments, so I do use a premium organic vegetable and herb mix by ProMix. I do think it's very important to have an organic soil when you're growing food. That's my personal preference, and I have grown with this last year and all of my plants turned out really well. Okay, and let's get started with filling our container. So just go ahead and start filling your container with soil. I do like to moisten my soil from the bottom. I've told you guys this in my other videos. It is important that your soil is moist all the way through, so I do like to stop and give it a little bit of water about halfway. Just move it around a little bit to make sure the water is fully absorbed. And yeah, keep filling your container to the top. I'm just gonna go ahead here and dig out a hole for my strawberry plant. And it's fairly easy to just pop out of the container, just showing you guys how intense the root system is here. And you want to plant this as deep as possible into the container. As you guys can see, my strawberry plant is sticking out a little. That is okay because I'm going to continue to fill around the sides of it with soil. One important thing is you do not want to bury the crown of the strawberries. So you do almost want them sticking out a little bit. And I'm going to show you guys how I fill the rest of the container. Another thing to keep in mind when you're growing in containers is that strawberries will send or produce runners. If you've never heard of this before, it's basically a way of propagating the plant itself, and if you've grown strawberries before, you probably already know this. So the runners are basically horizontal stems that will run above the ground and produce a new plant. So if you're growing in the ground, this is great because you're going to get way more strawberries. But when we're growing in containers, we definitely want to cut these runners because we have such a small space. So just keep an eye out for that as your strawberry plant grows. Strawberries do not like intense heat, so also keep that in mind. They prefer temperatures from 60 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, or if you're in Canada like me, it's 15 to 26 degrees Celsius. They can actually tolerate lower temperatures, but you don't want it to be too cold, so if you're starting it from seed, make sure to do this 6 to 8 weeks before your last frost date. Strawberries like full sun, around 8 hours a day, and they do prefer a slightly acidic soil, so keep that in mind when you're fertilizing. Like I mentioned before, this is a June-bearing variety of strawberries. The other kind you can get is an ever-bearing variety, which I am growing from seed, like I said. The difference is, with the June-bearing variety, you will just get a harvest in June, and with the other kind, you will get more than one harvest throughout the summer. You want to make sure to be watering your strawberry plant often to make sure the soil never dries out, but you also don't want to give it too much water. Make sure to do the 2-finger test to check when your plant needs water. And you do want to make sure you have a pot that has good drainage holes. If you live in a very warm climate, make sure you mulch around your plant to better retain the moisture in the container. And I would definitely choose a spot that has afternoon shade if you have very hot heat in the afternoon time. I'm planting this in April in my location, which is zone 6, so it's going to be the perfect temperature for a harvest in June. I hope if you guys enjoyed planting strawberries with me today, you will leave me a like, leave me a comment down below, and of course, subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you here. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next one.